My son broke his arm this weekend. Huge weekend. I need a beer. G'day guys, Beer Healer here. Thanks for joining me. Now look, if you like my videos, please tag a friend who loves craft beer, or maybe share my videos with your friends. That would really help me out. Thanks very much. Now look, I've had a bit of a love affair with these girls since they started brewing. I haven't met Danielle yet, but I've met Jane on a few occasions, and of course I'm talking about the girls from Two Birds Brewing. Like, there's nothing creepy like me watching them in the distance from the shadows or anything like that, but I've admired Jane and her work from afar. She worked at Little Creatures, and when they joined Lion, I got to meet a lot of people who knew her and admired her for her brewing. Look, we had beers one time in Hobart after a festival together, but it must have been way more memorable for me than it was for her, because when I met her again at Gab's in Melbourne last year, she was like, "Oh yeah, I remember you." Nah, she didn't, but I'm not going to take it personally, because she must meet so many people, and look, it hasn't stopped me loving her, Two Birds Brewing, and the sensational beers that her and Danielle are now producing. Now, onto the beer, the Two Birds Pale. Now, this is the second beer I've had tonight. It's been a big day out in the back shed building a skateboard ramp for my son, and so I had a sneaky shower before I filmed this, and of course I enjoyed this first beer in the shower. Who doesn't love a shower beer? They are absolutely sensational. But anyway, back to the beer. You know, sometimes you've got to change with the times and update your range in brewing, and that's what the girls have done here. You know, they've discontinued their Bantam Session IPA, and they've brought out the new Two Birds Pale in its place, and it's awesome looking bright blue labelling. I love it. You know, the beer smells it smells great. You got a light toastiness, sort of slightly piney with a bit of citrus and maybe a little bit of pineapple in there too. It looks great in the glass as well, don't you think? I love the fact that they've used Amarillo hops in this, because for me, Amarillo is kind of a forgotten hop these days with all of the use of, you know, Citra and Galaxy. So that's an absolute ripper. Oh, beer is delicious. It's light, slightly fruity with some hints of sort of toasty grains and sort of nice and creamy. Look, I'm not going to be the first person to be surprised that these guys have used oats in this beer, because oats are usually reserved for beers like, you know, stouts and porters, where they kind of produce a really nice luscious viscosity to those beers. But I kind of feel like that the use of oats in this one's kind of done something a little bit similar as well. It's sort of, I suppose, kind of silky, I think. You know, finishes really nice with this. It's just a mild bitterness, and it lends itself to being really, really sessionable. Absolutely. You know, this beer also marks a bit of a milestone for the ladies, as they're totally in-house brewing from now on, so no more contract brewing, which is an absolutely fantastic thing for those guys. Just simplifies things for them, so congratulations ladies on that. Ladies, I love your work with this beer, everything else you do in the brewing industry. I think you're absolutely fantastic, the both of you. Hopefully I'll see you at Melbourne Gabs in May. Remember this face when I come up and say g'day, because I will come up and say g'day. Maybe I'll wear a carnation on my lapel or something old-fashioned like that, so you'll recognise me. But look, everybody else, till we talk again on the Beer Healer front deck, cheers to great beers.